Hi friends, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on my video and for letting YouTube know that they should show more of my videos. I'm excited to hang out today. I am pretty stoked because I finally got my order in from Besame Cosmetics. They released the most beautiful collection with the estate of Lucille Ball. You know, I love Lucy. So Lucy's home. Lucy, I'm home. That reference, you get me? So when I saw this announcement on, I think it was Trend Mood, I immediately looked it up to see when the launch date was, and I kid you not, I set an alert on my phone for the day and exact time this collection went live so I could place my order so that it wouldn't sell out. And of course, my loudmouth self went onto Twitter and was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this collection, la 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 la. And I'm like, wait a second. It seems kind of like the opposite thing you would want to do if it's a collection you want and you want to make sure it doesn't sell out. You don't really want to advertise it. But I was just too excited. I think it was noon that it was launched, and I was on their website and I added the whole bundle to my shopping basket. Went all the way to checkout and entered my credit card and all that good information. And then, pow, one item couldn't be sold. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I only had one thing in my shopping cart. The order went through for like $2.35 for the insurance, and I was like, ugh. Now I have to go back and redo the order. So I tried it again and it didn't work. And I tried it again and didn't work. And finally I was like, you know what? Okay, I guess I don't need the whole collection. So I went back and I was like, okay, I'll add the palette, I'll get the lipsticks, I'll get the liners. You know, I'd like the powder, but I guess that's what's selling out. I have no clue. So my order finally went through, and I just got the collection yesterday in the mail. I think it had been sitting in my mailbox for a few days, so give or take. But it's finally here, and I already unboxed it because I was just too excited and didn't want to wait to film. So I'll show you the beautiful, beautiful packaging. I normally don't save packaging, but I might consider saving this because it's so beautiful. So I've zoomed in a little bit and I've adjusted the lighting as well because I looked completely and utterly washed out, and I don't want that to be the case. So here's the outer packaging on the palette. Isn't that beautiful? I love this cameo print of her face. That is just a beautiful package. And then all of the other packaging is pretty similar. So this is for the pencil set. So it has the same look and feel to it. And then the two lipsticks. That might be outer packaging I actually keep. So I'll show you the liner set first. There are 3 liners that came in the set. There is a white, a brown, or what looks to be like a really dark brown, and a red. I love the packaging on these. These are typical Kohl pencils, and it even came with this super cute pencil sharpener key ring. This was a perfect little detail that I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love Lucy, I love this. Or this is the palette. I love the packaging on this too. It's not over the top excessive, but I love the details. I like that it does the reverse too, that it's like this light gold color with the red embossing, whereas the outer packaging is the red with gold embossing. This is beautiful. And it comes with a little brush inside, which I'm going to set aside for a moment here. Comes with a full-size mirror. Here is the palette. I love this color story. I like that it has cooler colors because I am so over the warm tone palettes right now. One thing that I really appreciate about Besame is that when they do collaborations, they are very intentional and they're very thoughtful about the process. They actually worked with the estate of Lucille Ball and her daughter more specifically to ensure that they had the right colors, the right everything to be as authentic as possible to what Lucille actually wore. So that was really cool, and plus they also go into the history. I mean, you can look at other collections. This is unfortunately my first order from Besame ever. So Besame in Spanish means kiss me, so of course they focus mostly on lipsticks. Besame is also known for just really focusing on kind of these more vintage, I won't say old-fashioned because it's not old-fashioned by any means, but the vintage feel, authentic colors and products, and bringing those back to life but with a modern twist. That I love about the brand. I just think it's so classy and so innovative and they really just kind of do their own thing, which I love. So I can't wait to try these out, and I can't wait to try more products out as they come out. Okay, ready for these lipsticks? Look how beautiful these are. They have the little gemstones on them, but I love the bullet case with this kind of gold packaging. This is beautiful. So the two lipsticks are called Love That Redhead and What a Peach. So you can tell one's red and one is peach. So they're based on the two different eras, like the 50s classic red look that she would do, and then the more 60s mod style that she would do with peaches and more of those subdued colors. So let's dive in and play with these beautiful products. Okay, before I start in, you may have noticed I look really tan right now. And it's because I grabbed what I thought was a light foundation shade. It's not even foundation, it was a BB cream. And it came out super dark on me, like a whole 2-3 shades too dark. I don't know how that happens with a light foundation, light BB cream, but I ended up having to go over the top of that with a foundation that matches my skin tone. So I look a little more full coverage today than I normally do. You can still tell that there's a big difference between the color of my face and chest. So it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to start with my eyeshadow primer. I am going to use the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later one. I'm actually trying to get through some of my older primers because there's one that I've been wanting to try, but I can't justify purchasing it until I've used up others. I feel like I have a little hair right here, but I don't. I don't know why I have a tickle. Alright, for this palette, oh, it's so pretty. I almost always default to purple, and I don't use a lot of blues. So I think I'm going to try to use Salesman Blue and Babalu, which is this really pretty satin blue shade. Let's warm it up with Ricardo Rosé in the crease. And then I'll use the Band Leader Brown shade as a liner. Where do I want to seal? Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Or I'll figure it out, rather. It's not like you can jump through the screen and say, use that one instead. So I'll do swatches at the end of the video. Alright, let's take, oh, that pink is really pretty. You see it already, and I barely just touched it. There's a little bit of kick up from the pan, but I just dipped my brush back into it and it picks it up just perfectly. That is a really pretty pink. It's almost on the peach side, which is perfect because if you are using it with blues, peach is a complementary color to blue, so it means that they'll work together nicely. And it's not too orange, it's just a really nice pink. This would be a pretty blush color too, just to be honest. And just so you know, I have some eyelid texture today. I went hiking over the weekend. I was just really sweaty, and sometimes sweat can really irritate my eyes. And since I've had an eczema breakout, it just kind of exacerbated that a little bit. So I have a little bit more texture than normal on my eyelids right now. So one of my really good friends and I decided, oh, we're going to go for a hike on Friday, and we had no idea where we were going. Yeah, so we chose one, but it didn't have any mention on the website that the road was closed due to snow. So we get up there, and it's a treacherous drive. There's so many potholes, and I have a small car. It has good suspension, but it doesn't have the right suspension to get over all those potholes. And when I say potholes, I mean like moon craters. I'm going to dip into this blue shade here. I'm actually going to use the brush that came in the palette because it's a really small, flat, but also slightly fluffy brush, and I think this would be perfect to use for a shade like this. Whoa, that's pretty intense. This is really pigmented. I'm just going to keep it in this outer third of the eyelid. I'm going to kind of smoke it out a little bit so it's not so intense. But I do like this intensity, but I do have to kind of touch up and build it up just to kind of avoid any patchiness. I'm going to pull a little bit here under this outer third of the bottom lash line. So to finish my story, we went up this treacherous road only to find out there was snow blocking the entrance to the park, and it turns out the snow was 5 feet deep. Not really ideal for two hikers wearing yoga pants, tennis shoes, and hoodies. No hiking boots whatsoever. So we scrapped that, and we're at another trailhead, and it's called Paul's Peak. It's 4 miles down to the riverbed. I'm not so good with hiking terms. Like when you say there's an 18% gradation, I'm like, okay, cool, I don't know what that means. Same with elevations, like, oh, 2,000 feet. It's a little less than half a mile. It's not that bad. Like, that doesn't sound too much. Well, let me tell you something. Next time I'm going to pay more attention because, oh my gosh. If you're going mostly downhill on your hike, going down's the easy part. Especially at the beginning when you still have energy. We get down to the riverbed and we're kind of like, let's rest a little while. We were dumb and forgot water bottles. So we're like, okay, well, once we get to the river, we can at least like maybe drink from the river if it looks clean and the water's pretty swift. And it was, so we, got saved there. However, going back up was treacherous because now we had to backtrack. There was no loop as I thought there was originally. You basically get down to the bottom and either you keep going to the next campsite, which was 12 miles away, or you go back up the way you came. So of course we decided to go back the way we came, and holy smokes, I tell you what, it was so hard. It took us like 2+ hours to get back up, and we had to take so many breaks because we're sweating bullets, and it was just, our legs were killing us. I rolled my foot and it was a hot mess because my foot was hurting going back up. Anyway, all that to say is when we finally got up to the top, we were singing our praises to God, like, thank you, hallelujah. This is like, sat down in the car and we're like, oh my gosh, we hurt so bad. So today is Sunday, the day I'm filming this, and my goodness, if I start groaning, you know why. It's because I'm in pain. I'm grimacing because I'm in pain. Okay, you don't care about that. You're here for the makeup. I'm going to soften that up just a tad bit using a fluffy brush. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if that's my eye texture. It looks like my eye texture because I have some texture in this outer corner and it makes it look patchy. I know it's not because it's not patchy on this side because I don't have texture on that eye. And I do have a little bit of fallout, but that brushed away quite nicely. I'm going to just soften that up just a tad bit on this outer edge. I tried to make them as even as possible. They're just not going to be perfect, but está bien, está bien. I think I'm going to have to use a denser brush to blend because once that color lays down, it's staying put. So, but at least I applied it nicely. I'm going to take this icy blue shade called Babaloo. That's the name of the palette, Club Babaloo. Okay, let's talk about I Love Lucy. What is your favorite episode of I Love Lucy? There are so many good ones, I can't really decide. I mean, the episode where they go to the winery and they end up having to stomp the grapes, I forgot what they call that. That episode had me dying. That one was so funny. Oh, and the chocolate one where they're working in the oh, look at that blue. That is beautiful. Okay, anyway, they're working in that chocolate factory and the conveyor belt comes out and they're struggling to keep up and Lucy's just shoving the chocolate in her mouth because she can't keep up. Oh man, that was a good one. And anytime they played at Club Babaloo, or Ricky did rather, and she's like, Ricky, I want to be in your show. And he's like, no, 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 no. Okay, I'm going to take some of this blue and just kind of sweep it up towards this outer crease just a little bit more, just so that blue has something else to blend into in that crease. All I'm doing is just taking that brush from before that I used to apply the blue, and I'm just taking the very tip and just kind of sweeping it across just very lightly to get this into the crease. My crease is kind of hidden because I have this fold over my eye, the hood, that's my hood there. So I tilt my head back and then I'm going to double check it and just kind of blend it upward. If you have hooded eyes and you know what I mean, you just kind of have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like nod, yes man. But it's all good. It's all good. You just have to improvise and make it work for you. Okay, I'm going to go back to the light blue now. So I'm finding that it's not applying as thickly here. I think I'm going to switch to my finger. But look at that color. It is beautiful. Yeah, my finger is, of course, better. Of course, it'd probably be easier if I just foiled it, but I don't want to foil the eyeshadow right now. That is pretty. I'm really enjoying this. And then just kind of blend that there. Just a little bit with my finger. I'm going to take the brush I used before to apply that pink and just kind of go over that outer edge and put that together. I really like this. I think I'm going to skip using that brown. I don't need it. I'm going to take a little bit more of this light blue and pop it up here above the crease because I'm bringing my eyelid space, making it look higher than it is. I wish my eyelids could handle doing swatches like Shay does. That girl Shay. I love her videos because she'll swatch every single eyeshadow on her eyes. She's a saint for doing that. At the end of the day, just wearing my normal eye look, I'm just like, heck no, I do not want to put makeup back on this face. I do my 3, 5, 7 day color story challenges, and honestly, some people do those in one day. Girl, boy, person, friend, there we go. Friend, I do not have patience for that. I don't have eyelid tolerance for that. Nope. God bless their souls. I just can't. There we go. I really like how this is looking. It's a little, like, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So I'll do that with my brush, just a tad here on the outer edges. I like this deep blue because it looks kind of blackish gray, but up close it's that deeper blue. I really like how this looks with this, like, lighter blue. The lighter blue, like, it's really light. It's very shimmering. I feel like it's not as strong as it could be. I definitely think if I foiled it, it would be better. So I'm going to do that now. There we go. That's a lot bolder. I'm pretty sure Lucille Ball kind of went with a softer blue because that was the style back then. But I definitely like it to be a little bit on the deeper end here. That looks a lot better for me personally. Now just to deepen this up one more time. Eyeshadow is just about the layers you create. And just kind of layer it until you get the effect that you want. That's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of layering that dark blue up a little bit. I think that is good. You can see I kind of made a mess here. I'm going to take this lighter shade here. This is a matte vanilla shade. I'm going to pop that under the brow arch just for a tad bit of highlight. That's a great shade. Well, at least it is for me wearing this foundation. That's way too dark for me foundation. Let's move on to eyeliners. So there's a deep brown and a white. So let me show you. There's the brown. It's like a reddish brown almost. And here's the white. It's a little bit hard, but it'll do. Alright, I'm going to use the white on my inner rims. So this is not the creamiest pencil. It's a little stiff. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this white and just kind of pop that into the inner tear duct. Because I have a little bit of that light blue there. It's just going to kind of blend in with it. It makes this kind of a pretty little pop without it being overly shimmery. Take a little teeny brush to blend it. I'm going to touch up my blue eyeshadow a little bit, the lighter blue. I feel like the blend between that and the darker blue has somehow just kind of disappeared. Or maybe it wasn't fully opaque there with the foil. I'm going to line the upper lash line a little bit with this brown. Although I'm not going to go too heavy because it has more of that reddish tint. I'm just going a little bit against the lashes just to add a little bit of depth and color there, but just barely tapping on. I do notice that it's just subtle as I kind of bounce it off my lid. Here you can see it. I'm going to go back into that dark blue and just add a little bit more into this bottom lash line area. Apply most of the color in this outer third and just kind of sweep whatever's left towards the center of the bottom lash line. There we go. I normally don't do this very often, but I am going to curl my lashes. If you ordered this full set, you would have gotten the false lashes that went with it, which are an exact replica of the ones that she would wear. And if you look at this picture really closely, you'll see that she kind of has a unique eyelash shape here. They're very long. They're very spaced out, but they're very just lovely. And unfortunately, I didn't get that full set ordered. I think it just sold out. I'm not going to wear falsies today, but I am going to just do what I can to curl my lashes and apply mascara. So I'm going to apply some of this Maybelline Falsies Volume Express mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and applied the mascara. I feel like that tied this look together so much more. I did apply a little bit more of that lighter blue against the lash line because it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of wore away. I think this light blue shadow is, It doesn't feel powdery, but it applies in a powdery manner where it just kind of swipes away. So I'm going to try playing with it more. It's definitely not my favorite light blue eyeshadow, even though it's such a pretty color. This deep blue, however, is beautiful. So that's all I'm going to do for these things. Los ojos. Eyes. I'm going to do the face really fast. I'm going to use this Ofra Madison Miller palette. I'm going to use this peachy terracotta blush shade. And then for highlight, I'm going to take this highlighter right here. Unfortunately, there's no names on here for me to be able to tell you what colors those are. If you know what they are, can you pop them down in the comments below? Or maybe I can just research it. I'm going to skip bronzer today. I don't really feel like wearing it. I'm actually going to take my blush a little higher today than I normally do, because I want to just really lift up my cheeks and kind of give it that more kind of classic look. Just subtle, but it lifts up your cheeks if you apply it here. Just kind of blend it down and out. Quick edit, for full disclosure, I just went back in with some additional concealer and some powder just to kind of hide the fact that some of that blue did drip down and it made me look like I had really dark circles. So, and I just went back in and applied a little bit more blush because I had to take some of that off. The blush looks pretty. I'm going to go into that highlighter with a really small brush and just pop that over the cheekbone. Woo, I forgot Ofra's highlighters are like radiating. Okay, I'm going to have to blend this out a little bit more. It's not the best highlighter if you have texture, I'll just be honest, because now my texture is kind of showing through. Like, I love highlighter, but I don't like that high shine as much. It's pretty, but it's just not my favorite. Now for the lips. I really want to go with the red just because it's the classic Lucille Ball red. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'll try on the peach for you too. So I'm going to, of course, line my lips. I'm going to use the red lip liner that comes with the set. I like to apply a little bit of lip liner in the center of the lips too, just in case if the lipstick fades throughout the day. That's how I just kind of keep the color in one place. Here is the lipstick. And isn't that a beautiful detail? Alright, let's do this. Okay, so it's a very different red than the lip liner. Kind of got outside the lip line there. There's the lips with the red. I kind of like this. It's a little bit bolder than I would do. Now, if I wanted to be more like Lucy, I would have rounded out my eyebrow shape a little bit more. But that's not really a shape that I like on my face, to be honest. I like this arch because it pulls up my cheekbones a little bit. But anyway, this red lipstick is beautiful. I think it's like a perfect neutral toned red. The lip liner pulls more blue than the lipstick. The only thing I don't like about wearing red lipstick is that it's just not forgiving if you make a mistake. But that's why they make these little magic erase pencils. Wearing these two very kind of contrasting looks together, the blue eyeshadow with the red lipstick, is very extreme. But I really, really love this lipstick. It has a really nice creamy texture, but it doesn't feel like it's just going to slip all over like some lipsticks do. And it smells nice too. It smells like vanilla. So this is Love That Redhead. I'm now going to switch to the peach shade, which is called What a Peach. Took off the red lipstick and I concealed so that I don't have stained lips because red lipstick stains. Now here's the peach shade. It's actually a neutral peach. It's not too cool toned. It's not too orange. This is so pretty. I'm going to wear this the rest of the day. It's so creamy. And this is a beautiful pinky peach shade. It's like the actual shade of peach. You know how sometimes you buy a peach shade and it's more like a light orange? This has that pink tone to it. It is more like an actual peach. That is beautiful. So Besame, I know, is known for their lipsticks, and now I know why. They're very creamy, they're very pigmented, they're very easy to apply because of that unique bullet shape. I like the shape because unless you've had fillers, because I surely haven't, you know, having a smaller upper lip, which is normal, sometimes it can be a little tricky getting that Cupid's bow, or in these outer corners here. It does a really good job. It helps you define your Cupid's bow if you want to. You can go straight across, which was also very 60s-esque, but I'm not going to do that because I don't like that shape on me. So this is the final look, and out of the eyeshadows so far, I like them. I like this blue. I like the pink. This vanilla is nice. I haven't tried the others, but I'll swatch them. If you're interested in me doing more looks with this, let's just pop a comment down below and let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. I definitely will be using this and rotating it in and out, but the light blue is not my favorite. It just something about it just feels really powdery once it hits the eyes. Even when it's foiled, it just didn't apply in the smoothest manner. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more and see if I can find an application method that works for it. Sometimes you just have to play with it and say, oh, okay, you have to use a wet brush or a different kind of brush or whatever. It's really fussy if you have to do that, but I want to make this work. So comment below and let me know. What's your favorite I Love Lucy episode? I really want to know because, you know, nostalgia. I used to watch it when I was a kid late at night on Nick at Night. Remember Nick at Night? I Love Lucy and that iconic music. Anytime that would come on, I was just like, you know, it was such a great show. You can't have pop culture without them. The queen of comedy. As I said before, I was so stoked about this collection. I love Lucy. I think this collection is beautiful. I think Gabriella and her team did an amazing job with this collection. It appeals to multiple audiences. Even though there's some color in here, like a deep blue, purple, and like a light violet shade and this light blue, I think they're neutral enough that you can work with that. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay well, stay lovely. Stay lovely. And I'll see you next time. Stay electric as always. Mwah.